Hey guys! So today I'm going to be exposing this user named Saleemrx2023 because I think his actions need to be addressed and people need to be aware about this. But before I get into it, I just want to say that this video isn't meant to promote cyberbullying. This is for informational purposes only, and this is meant to spread awareness. Anyway, let's get into exposing Saleemrx2023's actions now, shall we? So, you should already know who he is if you got harassed or mass mentioned by him. But if you don't know who he is, I'll explain it to you. So, Saleemrx2023 is a user who harasses people and mass mentions people for views. Not to mention that he makes videos that I can't really explain because they're nonsensical. Now that I got that out of the way, I'm gonna explain more about what he's done. This part says it all. He harasses users whenever they don't check out his channel. He forces people to check out his main channel. And he insults people whenever they don't watch his videos. Sadly, I was one of those users he cyberbullied. Anyway, here are some screenshots I took for proof of him cyberbullying. These screenshots were not the only times he cyberbullied users, by the way. He also called people trash and ugly on some of his previous accounts. Yes, he made a bunch of alt accounts. I'll get more into that later. Basically, the reason why he called people trash and ugly on his other accounts is because people weren't checking out his main channel. Cyberbullying users just for not checking out your channel is definitely not okay. And if your channel is doing poorly, it doesn't grant you the right to bully others. Anyway, moving on. So, for the content he makes, I don't really know how to explain it. The best I can explain it is that he makes nonsensical SpongeBob videos. Some of his videos are just the exact same video he posted multiple times. And apparently some comments said that his videos are stolen too? Anyway, like I said before, he made a lot of alt accounts. And the content on his alt accounts are all just the same nonsensical SpongeBob videos. He also mass mentioned users on all of his alt accounts, as far as I know, which I'll get to in the next part. So, mass mentioning is basically mentioning a bunch of users at once. And Saleemrx2023 mass mentions users in the descriptions of his videos. I was one of those users he mass mentioned, and he mass mentioned me a few times. Here's some proof of him mass mentioning people. You see what I mean there? He mass mentions people in all of his videos. You guys might be thinking, Alessa, why are you hating on him for mentioning people? It's nothing bad. Well, there's a difference between normal mentioning and mass mentioning. Normal mentioning is fine, but that's clearly not the type of mentioning he's doing. Mass mentioning is unnecessary, and it can even be stalking to some people. It's even worse when it's coming from someone like him who cyberbullies others. Anyway, moving on. My theory is that he mass mentions and harasses people because he wants views and fame. I know this because he forces people to watch his channel, and when he mentions more users, more people will get the notification. But mentioning more users does not automatically mean more views. And what he's doing is clearly not the correct way to get clout. So, if you want to be a successful YouTuber, do not do what he's doing. Anyway, moving on to the sixth and final part. Do not go out of your way to harass him. Trust me, harassing him will only make things worse. The best way to handle this situation is to ignore or report him. You can also turn off your mentions to avoid being mass mentioned by them. Anyway, that's the end of this call out video. This is Alessa signing off. Bye everyone!